Okay, YouTube. I'm gonna do a little update on the projects in the yard and cold start on the old Dodge wagon and give you an update on that as well. But here's another project needs to be getting done. This death trap is an old Kawasaki police bike, KZ1000, and had for a while. Been working on it. I think it needs a coil. One of the plugs ain't firing, one of the cylinders ain't firing. So I think I might throw a coil at that. And it needs a few other things. It needs the carbs synced up and the fluid and the clutch changed. So that's another project needs to get done. So you guys tell me in the comments if you'd like to see that. And then the old GMC. Let me grab the keys for the Dodge. So last time we just got the Dodge running. I just got the motor unlocked. There it is there. My little shed. Show you guys my little shed. Work on the carburetors and build engines and charge my batteries and keep all my rod parts and stuff. Putting together some old chainsaws. I don't know if you guys be into those videos. I really like these old McCullochs, and that one there's a home light, big old home light that I need to do a carb on, and a diaphragm hose or whatever, the intake boot or whatever it is. Yeah, so there's my little shed. And you got the big shop here. And so the old Dodge, see, I just gotten it broke loose and running and driving. See, I put a master clutch and brake cylinder in it and got it running around the yard a little bit here, but the clutch was really sticky. I think the throwout bearing was sticking on the input shaft, and I had to deal with that and lube that, and finally got that to work. And then had the axles, 4x4 axles that came with it, so I put those underneath it, and it's been sitting probably a month. So we'll see if it fires up. I think I put the fuel tank in it and lines in it, and I just wired up a electric clickety-clack pump to it to see if it'll fire up on its own fuel system, because I was just running a little gas can from under the hood before. And there's another project, the old Trans Am. If you guys saw my first video, it's an old 78 golden chicken car that somebody put a small block 350 in. They took out the 400, and it had been sitting with no carb on it for years and no valve covers, and it was full of water. And I'm sure the block cracked because it mixes fluids as soon as I put the coolant to it in the cooling system. So it's been sitting. It does run, but I took the carb off it recently, so it's going to need a carb put back on it. If you guys like to see that thing running, it's pretty funny. So let's cold start the old Dodge here. See if it'll pick up fuel off its tank. I had pulled the tank and boiled it and filled it full of soapy water and ammonia and vinegar, and boiled it, set it on top of a couple cinder blocks, and put the weed burner underneath it for like 6 hours on low, and just boiled it and dumped it out and rinsed it out and put the sending unit back in it, and that doesn't work, but we'll see if it picks up fluid, picks up fuel. one-handed here. There's the key. It's all bent. There's the pump. You hear the pump rattling. No. Might have to put the charger on the battery or throw some starting fluid at it. No. Let's give it a little squirt of starting fluid. Just because the battery's pretty weak. I think if I go cranking it, it's just going to kill it. And we'll see what we can do here. I can hear the pump picking up fuel. Nope. It fired off on that starter fluid. Nope. Huh. Let's hit it again. Nope. It's starving for fuel. Huh. We got fuel in the filter. Huh. Maybe it, maybe, I don't know. Maybe the line's clogged, or we'll try it one more time, but need to air up that tire. Okay, here we go. Nope, she just runs out of fuel. Huh. Huh. Well, that's a fail. I'll have to pull apart the fuel lines and maybe even pull apart that carb. There's a needle and seat goes right in that the inlet. There comes the train. So maybe the needle and seat got something clogged in it right here. I can just pull that apart, clean that out maybe. I think it's probably where I'll start on that, but so there's that, the old wagon. So yeah, we'll go through the yard and show you some of the other projects we got going. See if you guys would like to see any of those. The old Kawasaki. I was converting it over to like an old Mad Max. You know, I got the seat for it, and I was gonna get the front cowling, but I kind of like the old Windjammer chips front end on there. But yeah, I was gonna do like the original Mad Max movie, like a goose bike or a toe cutter, bike. And I had bought the custom fiberglass seat, with the cubby hole that comes up in the back, and I still need to change over all the foot controls to rear sets, and then get rid of the foot pads. And then I put these drag bars on it, but they need to be adjusted. They're hitting and rubbing there, and as soon as I put those on, the clutch quit working. I don't know if it kinked the line so I need to adjust those up. But let's go look at some of these other projects. I already showed you the Suburban and the 5-liter. Show you that. Previous owner used this rig just to get up to his mining claim and back, but older man had done a bunch of work to it, did a big block swap 454, and yeah. 5-liter. Should do a cold start on that. We'll do a little cold start on that maybe tomorrow morning. It's been sitting probably a couple months at least in this spot. And you can see it's all dirty, hasn't moved. Runs good other than the idle situation. So back here, got this old parts Jeep. Just for parts for my 91 or 92 two-door. I took the nice black interior out of this 86 and was putting it in this little two-door that I got. So runs good. Did a bunch of work to it last summer, tune up and header and bigger injectors and new radiator, slave cylinder, clutch master. And runs good, quick with the 5-speed and the high output. It's really quick. So that needs to be buttoned up. If you guys would like to see that, maybe see a lift on that. Got one of my old work trucks. Needs a flatbed. I was thinking about doing a flatbed on it. This is like a 92 F450 cabin chassis, Super Duty. This is a 7.3 IDI that somebody did a ATS turbo on. So it's kind of a cool truck. It's got the 5-speed with the granny low. So here's all my junk motors and transes. My little junk pile here. And then there's another one. I got an old FJ 40. Just kind of buttoned it up and put it up for sale. Still needs little work like windshield glass and some body work and grill and seats. Needs a new top. The old top's wasted. Blinkers need to be screwed back in, but other than that, just little stuff like that. Runs good. It's a small block 350. and a turbo 350 trans. So maybe we'll do a cold start tomorrow morning on that with the 5 liter. I just need to throw a battery in it. So I'm hoping to sell this one off to fund this build here. This is a build I was saving for when my kids get a little bit older. I've been hanging on to this one for about a year now. It's just a roller. It's a 64 Galaxy 500 XL. So that's what those engine blocks and transes were over there. I got it as a basket case, and the guy gave me 2 sets of drivetrain. This originally was a Cruise-O-Matic 352 big block car. So he gave me the original drivetrain in it, and then another one out of another parts car. And it's just laying over there. But it's an XL, so it's a bucket seat, center console car. Only rust on the car, it needs a trunk pan. That's the only rust on the car. And I got all the seats. They're a little tore up. I got all the seats, and the door panels are still really nice. I think it's a Navajo beige, the color code is. So it's just a roller, no drivetrain. So what I got for it out of this other work truck I was building that I never finished because I got out of that type of construction work, so I never finished my work truck, is I built a big block 429 out of old 68 Thunderbird, and yeah, like 30 over, 11-to-1 compression, RV cam, intake headers, stuff like that. So stout big block, no miles on it. I did the cam break-in in this truck, drove it around this yard a few times, and parked it. That's it. And I ended up taking motor parts off of it for another project, so it's got no miles on it. And I'm gonna pull it and put it in the Galaxy here. But I wanted to do a top loader 4-speed in it, so those are really expensive. I'm gonna have to save up for that. So there's that project. And what, I got an old crew cab over here also. Don't want to forget about that. Needs some work, needs a carb. I put an Edelbrock carb on it, but the EGR block-off plate was wrong, so it's got an intake leak. But it kind of clears up after it's warmed up. I don't know. I mean, it backfires through the carb when it's cold, when you go to stomp on it, but after it warms up, it goes away. So this is kind of a cool truck. It's 86, might be an 85. It's a bullnose 350 1-ton 4x4 crew cab, and it's a big block 460 with a C6, but it's got the high pinion 60 in the front. And so, I don't know if you guys can see in here, no light. Pretty clean. Needs tires, and the plan for this one was to put a shell, maybe even one of those caravan campers on it, and build it for like a living, build like living quarters in it, like a bed and solar and stuff like that. So that was my plan for this one, And the old 69 F100 that I'm going to take that big block out of. I was thinking about maybe pre-runner, an old pre-runner on that. Maybe take one of those 352s out of the yard and stuff it in that after I pull the 429 out for the Galaxy, and then jack it up and maybe bend those I-beams for the front end and do a pre-runner deal. So maybe that's the plan for that. You guys tell me what you want to see in the comments below, and like and subscribe. Stay tuned. This is Shade Tree Me. I'm out.